G'day, welcome to Mt.Coramba Apiculture. It's Saturday the 28th of June 2025. I'm at my Coramba site at the moment. I've just been to the Idle Inn and got myself a fantastic coffee. If you're ever in the Narnagon area, the Idle Inn are great supporters of mine. They sell my honey and in return I get a coffee there whenever I can, and it's fantastic. Sun's just coming up here now, so it's been up for an hour or so, but it's just starting to warm up, so things are looking good. There's a bit of rain coming about Tuesday. It's an east coast low, so a little bit unpredictable at the moment, just what we'll get, but yeah, things are looking okay at the moment, so I don't think it'll be anything like the rain event we had last time. So, however, there's a few hives here that I've got feeders in, and I've got just mixed up about 15-20 litres of 2-to-1 sugar syrup, just to make sure that they get through this little wet period without any problems. They're probably okay. There's probably enough in them from when I fed them last time, but you know, just make sure they're looked after. So plan this morning is to just drop this sugar syrup into them, and we'll have a look at some of these hives that I kind of rescued from Brook Lana and see how they're going. Yeah, so that's the go this morning. We'll get through these few hives, and a few other things I want to tell you about at the end as well, so stick around to the end, and just a bit of information I want to give you about the latest training that's available for Varroa in Australia. All right, let's get into it. So just making up a bit of 2-to-1 sugar syrup to go out and feed these bees. So what I mean by 2-to-1, it's 6 parts of sugar to 3 parts of hot water. So yeah, it's just double the amount of sugar than it is to water. So I just substitute a kilo of sugar to a litre of water. So that's the way I do it. So just the sugar just goes in the bucket. This is just sugar from the supermarket. Always use white sugar. Don't use brown sugar. You'll kill your bees. So this is hot water. Just get it. It's hard to dissolve this 2-to-1 mix, so I like to get my water nice and hot. So this is going to make a bit of noise, unfortunately, but we'll get our 3 litres of water in. All right, that's the noisy part of the way. Our water pump's in the shed, so for the house, it's in the honey shed here, so that's the way it is. So give that a good mix and get that process started to dissolve that sugar. This is a sugar mix that's designed for the bees to put away as food rather than to stimulate them, so that's what I want to do at the moment. Kind of down to the bottom there now. This will settle a little bit, so when you get it out to the bees in next half hour or so, there'll be probably a few centimetres of sugar settled on the bottom. So all you got to do is shake it up with a stick, or just give it another mix, and it'll go back into suspension, and you can pour it into the feeders. So see how thick that mix is. There's still undissolved sugar in it, but it'll dissolve in the next half hour as we go out to the bees. I'm moving around on the back of the ute, so there you go, 2-to-1 sugar mix. Right, so I've had my coffee, got my smoker going. This is a nuke from Lana. It's got a feeder in it. This is the nuke from Brook Lana, so it was the one that almost starved to death. I can see bees going in and out, so the bits to see how that's going. And these two have got feeders as well, so I'm hoping that they won't need a feed, but I might throw a bit of syrup in these ones. So let's get inside them and have a look and see how they look. Right, so they look good. Plenty of bees. Got our feeder there. I'm expecting it'll be empty. So let's just shake the bees out of there so we don't drown them. Definitely empty, so they've taken all that syrup they put in last time up into the frames. Let's have a look and see how they look. You can see honey in the frames there, so yeah, that's good. So plenty of pollen there. I can see sealed honey and nectar or syrup in the frames there. That's quite heavy, so that's good. And there's a nice good brood pattern there. So sealed honey and nectar in those frames there, they look good. We'll give them a little bit anyway, because I've got it here and it won't do them any harm. Once again, nice brood pattern. There's my queen walking around there. Don't think she'll win any prizes for best in show, but she's doing the job. And this last frame. Once again, a bit of brood there and nectar in those combs. Let's give them a couple of litres. Let's give them a bit of optimism, and because we can, let's push them over. High-tech funnel. All right, so I've just given that syrup a bit of a stir to get the solid sugar off the bottom. Let's give them a couple of litres. All right, that's all they'll need. Just push those down. There's a few bees in the lid there. They look good. Right, so this is the hive from Brook Lana. That was, I reckon, a couple of days from death. So they've had a feeder in them for a few weeks now. Let's see how they look. Okay, so that's promising. They've still a little bit in the bottom of that feeder. We might tip it out because it'll be a bit stale. Yeah. So let's get that syrup out and just see how they look. So I'll just sit this over here and get it out. So let's see why. There may not just be enough bees in here for them to take it up, and they've probably got enough. So there's a bit of sealed honey, which I might have put a frame of honey in them, I think. I can't remember now. I have to look at my records. Oh yeah, there's a bit of nice sealed brood there, which is more than they had when I brought them down. You can see syrup in the frames there. Little tiny bit of brood. And I can see there's nothing in that last frame, so let's just put that feeder back in with some fresh syrup and maybe just give them a litre. So I've just taken that frame feeder up to the car and give it a slosh out with some water as well in case there was fermented syrup in there. These are Man Lake feeders, made in the US. I really like them. They do the job for me. I'm really happy with them. Much better than the Chinese stuff. So let's get our ladders back in. And about a litre of syrup, I reckon. We won't give them too much. We'll give them 2. Well, that's good. They're still going. I don't think they're going to set the world on fire, but they're still alive. Get their lid back on. Strap them up. So that'll have them see that little bit of wet weather out that's coming. Alright, so we're down in the brood box of this next fella. You see I've got a sheet of black plastic in place, just with enough space there for the bees to get up. No queen excluder in this case, so see how they look. So really we've just got a 4-frame nuke in there. See what they've done to this feeder. Yep, it's completely empty, so let's have a look at a few frames, just make sure they're okay. And we'll probably give these fellas a bit of a feed, I reckon. Taking the top super off, there's nothing in it. It feels nice and heavy. A little bit of nectar that side. And yeah, that looks good. So there's plenty of nectar in there. There's a nice solid patch of brood, so see that got that extra space there where they're just starting to fill it out. See a few drones there, which is promising. Very nice. Yeah, there's a nice solid patch of brood. Big fat black drone there. Beautiful pearly white larvae. And space here, so optimism. That's good. Once again, nice solid brood pattern. So let's throw a couple of litres into them just because I've got it. And it'll tide them through this little bit of a wet patch we're gonna get in the next few days. These East Coast lows can be nothing, or they can blow up into something big, so just err on the side of caution. Straight out of the bucket this time. Probably about 4 litres, which they'll use. Alright, funnel out. Black plastic back on. Just keeps that brood chamber nice and warm. Space there for the bees to get through. And super back on. So we're down to this last hive. They look a bit light on these fellas. I'll just move, see what's in that. Oh, there's a bit of syrup in that. Okay, so we'll leave it there. Let's have a look at these few frames and just make sure they look okay. More syrup in that fella, that's good. for some brood here to indicate they're going to go on with it. A little bit of pollen in there, nectar. Right, so that looks good on the weaker side, but they're going to start building up in a couple of weeks. There's a nice brood pattern there, so yeah, they're fine. Let's give them a few litres of syrup just to get them through this next week. Yeah, they're fine. Good stuff. Alright. Funnel. Syrup's just had a stir. Let's give them 1, 2, 3, 4. Just want to make sure I use all the syrup up. Alright, so black plastic goes back on. Why do I do that? It keeps the heat down in that brood box, because there's another super going on here which hasn't got much in it, so rather than them having to heat those whole 2 boxes, warm it, they just got to keep that first one warm, and that's just makes life a bit easier for them. So alright, that's our work done here. Let's go down to Edge Fern and have a look at this other hive. Alright, so we're back at Edge Fern. History of this hive is it just dwindled away due to a failing queen, and I took the supers off it and came back and got rid of that queen and whacked a nuke in it from another site. So it did have a feeder in it. I took it out, but I think just with this bit of weather coming, I'll put one back in. So let's make a bit of room. So these man lake feeders take up a space of 2 frames. So let's pull them out, and we'll just probably move that to the wall. So a bit of a look at what's going on in here. So a bit of sealed honey there. A bit concerned that this may not do too well if it couldn't get out and fly for a week. There's a bit of sealed honey there. Bit of honey and pollen, not setting any records. So hopefully there's a bit of brood in here. Okay, yeah, not the greatest pattern either, so they'll just stagger through the next few weeks, or the next month, I guess, and see how they go. So yeah, nothing of note that side. Let's have a look at these last 2 combs, see what's in them. Okay, so there's a frame of brood there, so they're going to be okay. But yeah, if we did get a week of wet weather, I think they'd struggle. There's my queen walking around there. Once again, not going to win a prize, but she's doing the job. Let's have a look at this last comb. Alright, some nice pollen stores there. A little bit of brood and some sealed honey there, so they're okay. But let's make sure. Throw a feeder in and give them a bit of optimism. Go in there. That just gets it closer to the brood cluster. My wonderful wonderful funnel. Just give it a little bit of a shake up. Right, in it goes. Alright, so that's good. That's 4 litres in there. That'll see them through the next week. And yeah, it's just peace of mind. I don't have to sit up at night worrying if they're fed or not. All the other hives here have all got a box of honey on them, I know that. So yeah, that's good. They're done. Alright, so that's done. Just what did I do and why? I just wanted to go around and get a bit of syrup into some of my weaker hives. There's a bit of rain coming next week, Tuesday. It could be just a day of rain, or it could be a week. I don't know what's going to happen. So just want to be sure that these hives don't get hungry. They're just the little weak ones that I'm nursing along. If I had any common sense, I'd shake them out and unite them or something into one big hive. But anyway, it's good to play around with. So that's what's going on there. I went to a transition to management advanced Varroa workshop on Thursday down at Port Macquarie. It was a great day out. The workshops are, really refined now, and they're working really well, particularly in New South Wales. I'm sure they're just as good as in Victoria, South Australia, and Queensland. Queensland's, worrying now because Varroa's in the Brisbane area and it's spreading really quickly, so there's a lot of worried beekeepers. If you're up that way and you can get yourself to one of those T2M Varroa workshops that are being run by the DPI, I really recommend them. It's just basic stuff. They're not pushing anything. It's just going through Varroa from way to go and giving you the options of what to do when how to find Varroa and what to do when you find it. So I really encourage you to go and do one of those workshops. Find out about them, varroadestructor.org.au. I'll put a link to it down in the notes below this video. So yeah, go down there and take advantage of those T2M workshops while they're still available. And also your Varroa development offices, don't forget, they're going to run out pretty soon in New South Wales, but understand they'll kick on for a little while in Queensland and Victoria and South Australia. So take advantage of those Varroa development offices. They know what they're talking about and they can help you. If you can do one of these advanced Varroa workshops, I'd really recommend it. It's kind of for commercial beekeepers or people that make their living out of bees. I mean, a minnow like me with 100 hives up to people with a few thousand hives. It was a great turn up at Port Macquarie the other day. It's a great thing to do because it goes more into scenarios, and it just gives an overview of what people have found. So they actually interview beekeepers that have had issues or success, and you can take a lot away from it. So it's not, I got a lot out of it. They also had, a financial guy there who talked a bit about managing your business. They had real financial counsellor there, which I found really good as well. He had some great points. And also it just pointed to me more resources that are available now from varroa.org.au. There's a great spreadsheet in there that you can sort of put all your inputs in, so temperature, what sort of operations are going on in your business, what sort of treatments are available in those time periods, and I'll put a link to that spreadsheet as well. So I found that really useful as well. So you know, if you're just starting to get impacted by Varroa, it's okay, you'll be fine. Make use of all the resources you got. Don't die on the natural beekeeping hill. There's people on social media, they look very convincing, saying all you got to do is just let the bees sort themselves out. They won't. You'll have problems. Untreated hives we've found around here will last 6 months at the most, so be careful going down that trail. If you want to do that, that's fine, but be very careful. All right, that's about it. I just wanted to do a quick video and fill in a little bit and just keep the Google gods happy. So thanks for watching, and I'll do another video after this little bit of rain. Thanks for watching.